Hey guys, Lizardly here for Pins Day 7. Yes. I'm going to start with Harley Quinn, and then I think the next one I'm doing is Fairy Tale and Pirates of the Caribbean. We'll see. I don't know. I started watching plays of Mace the Dark Age because I had to mention it in the last video, and I forgot how freaking amazing the narrator's voice is, for one. Like, if that dude could narrate my life, like, everything would be an epic battle. And the second one is how freaking terrifying Lord Damos's laugh is. Like, listen to this. Dude, he gonna kill some people. He gonna kill a lot of people. Dude's voice. Amazing. Dude. Dude, I want him to narrate my life. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna go stitch now. Alright, I've got a bit of talking ahead of me. Hour-long video, not bad. So, my last question was 22, so 23. What's something you never leave home without? My purse. Oh, well, oh, no, actually that's a lie, because sometimes if I go check the mail... Okay, so my keys then. My keys. Generally, it's also my purse, though. Well, dude, honestly, because no, even then, sometimes I don't leave the house to check the mail. Sometimes I leave the house to go put the trash out on the curb. So, my clothes. I never leave the house without my clothes. 24. What's a reoccurring dream you have? Ooh, reoccurring. Oh, it's actually pretty rare for me to have a dream a second time. A lot of times I'll have a continuation of a previous dream, and that doesn't qualify as reoccurring. So, gosh, do I have a dream over and over again ever? Yeah, seriously, nothing's coming to mind. I got nothing. My dreams are usually, very different, or they're continuations of a previous dream. I don't think I've ever had the same dream more than once. Yeah, like, it might have, like, a few scenes, I guess, here and there that are repeats of my previous dream, but then it picks up from there and continues on. It's like, on a TV show when they give you a recap at the beginning of an episode of what's happened beforehand. So, yeah, I don't think I have any. 25. What makes you feel safe? Well, having a gun in my hands. I don't currently own a gun, but, like, I have shot many. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to feel unsafe while holding one. Unless you're completely inexperienced with it, then it would probably be terrifying. Being in my car, I halfway feel safe. Like, I am in this just huge hunk a ton of metal. Like, if some dude with a saw comes at me, like, I could just run his bitch ass over. But if another vehicle hits me, then I don't feel safe at all, because I am trapped in this hunk a ton of metal. So, being at home, I usually feel safe. Like, every once in a while, if I'm home alone and it's dark outside, I'll go downstairs and be like, ugh, I don't want to turn on lights because people outside will be able to see me and I won't be able to see them. That makes me nervous. 26. What's the best thing that ever happened to you? I mean, like, it's kind of simultaneously the best thing and the worst thing is me having asthma. Because, I mean, obviously, it sucks. My airways can close up without, a moment's notice. Like, usually I have triggers, but, sometimes crap just goes down. But it's made me value life a lot more. It's made me value other people more. It's made me more sympathetic to other people. Like, yeah, asthma's nothing like these other diseases, but I understand what it's like having to deal with something every single day of your life. Always being afraid that something could happen. So, it sucks, but it's also nice. I think it's made me into a better person. Or, well, I mean, as as well as something can make you into a better person when you've had it your whole life. But, you know, it's affected me my whole life, so, yeah. I know that sounds like so stupid, like, oh, you're the best, your disease is the best thing that's ever happened to you, you're so stupid. I mean, you know, you gotta try and look on the bright side of things when you can. I mean, Tess is definitely one of the best things that's ever happened to me. My little baby girl, she's so sweet. 27. What do you want people to say about you once you're gone? I don't know if it means just like that I've gone and left the room or gone like dead. I'm gonna assume dead. So, I want them to say I made them laugh a lot, whether it was because I was funny or because I was stupid, or both. I'm cool with that. That I brightened their day, you know, either just once or on a reoccurring basis. Either's fine. You know, that I made people smile. That would make me really happy. 28. What's the coolest thing about science? That it can go back and disprove things and prove others, and, you know, it's ever changing. It's never, or, well, sometimes it is, but it's usually not, you know, 100% concrete. It can change. Everything can change. Like, there was recently this huge controversy that, you know, Bill Nye was being paid to say that, you know, there's different kinds of sexual identity and sexual orientation and all these other things, whereas before on his show it was, you know, oh, if you have 2 X chromosomes, you're a girl, and if you have an X and a Y chromosome, you're a boy. But science has evolved since then. They've learned more things since then, and they've come to see that, oh, hey, you know, there's more to it than that. And I don't think he did that because of money. I think he did that because he's a true scientist. He is capable of changing his mind and his opinion based on new evidence. It's actually something I discussed with someone on, you know, one of my Facebook friends. I'm so tired. Crystal posted, you know, one of the memes about it. And her response was, you know, I don't think he did it for the money. I think he actually believes that. And I was saying, yeah, you know, I completely agree, because it's, I cannot remember the saying, you know, but basically it was just, if you're intelligent, you are capable of changing your mind based on new evidence. It's very naive to, you know, think, oh, no, the new evidence is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's the thing, though. It's new evidence. Like, it's new stuff. You are allowed to change your mind when there's new information involved. You're allowed to. There's no rule anywhere that says, oh, no, if you feel this way now, you have to always feel this way. Whoa, it just froze. What happened? I don't know if it's still recording or not. Okay, I figured it out. It was still recording, but like the whole program froze, so I was like, what? What? Also, that noise you heard earlier, that, I have a magnet and I'm playing with it, and I was like, is my ruler magnetic? And it is. Okay, 29. What's the best money you ever spent? Ooh. The best money I ever spent. I mean, I've spent money on Tess getting her shots. That's definitely a good thing to spend money on. Immunizations, you guys. Very important. I have asthma and I go and get my shots. The only people who shouldn't be getting shots are those who have compromised immune systems and can't. Oh, my religion's against it. Oh, it causes autism. No, it doesn't. It has been proven that it does not cause autism. There is one guy who made that up, and everybody just sadly and naively believed him because, like, diseases are coming back now because people aren't getting immunized. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Getting immunization, and it's really embarrassing. Like, it is 2017, and people are suffering from diseases that haven't been around since, like, what, the 1800s or something? Like, it's so fucking embarrassing, you guys. Ugh. Okay, 30. What's a bad habit you have? I touch my face a lot. I know it's a bad habit. Like, I need to stop, but I have allergies year round, so like my skin is always itchy, and like now I need to scratch my chin. I can feel it. I need to do it, and I'm trying not to. I talk a lot. Some people think that's a bad habit. Some people think it's a good habit. So I don't know. It depends. Yeah. What are you grateful for? I mean, we've already discussed how I feel about my asthma, so I'm kind of grateful for it, kind of not. I'm grateful for my family, my friends, my coworkers, my nice customers, sometimes my mean ones. They keep telling me I need to grow a thicker skin, and I don't know, I've seen so many of my coworkers cry over the way customers have treated them. And I had a woman today, she kept complaining and saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to corporate about this. I'm going to go to corporate about this." And every single time I told her, I was like, "This is why it's done this way." Like, she was complaining that we don't keep the ads in the store. And I was like, "Oh, well, no, we don't do that because we don't get them mailed to the store. These are done through email, or they're physically mailed to your mailbox. They're not sent to the store at all." And the thing is, if they were, every single time a customer's like, "Oh, hey, I want to use this coupon in this ad," we'd have to do it. And then every single customer would see the previous customer and do it. And then everybody who, like maybe before only 25% of people brought in a coupon, now 100% of the people are using coupons. We're never going to make money that way. So like you need to sign up for them if you want them. And then, hey, you're signed up. So that's good. So I flat out told her, I was like, we would lose money, and we can't do that. So, and she's like, oh, well, okay, that makes sense. And then she had a piece of ribbon, and she's like, "Can you tell me how much this costs?" And I was like, "Okay." Oh, it was $9.99, but now it's gonna ring up $4.99, or no, $3.99. And I was like, it's 60% off. And she's like, "Well, I don't know why there's no tag on it. I want to know how much it costs, and I should not have to go running around the store to find out how much it costs. You guys need to put a sign up. Everything needs to be tagged." And I was like, "Oh, no, we actually have 2 price machines in the store. You don't have to find an associate to use those. You can just scan it, and it'll tell you how much it used to cost and the current cost if it's on sale or clearance or something." And then she was like, "Well, you should have stickers on them. I want to know how much they are." And I was like, "Oh, well, we don't actually have like a price gun. The only kind of one we have is a clearance gun. And that means we can only do it on clearance stuff. Like this ribbon that you have right now that's on sale may only be on sale for today. So if I tag it as originally $9.99 and now $3.99, if no one buys it and tomorrow that's still around, when the person goes to scan it, it's going to ring up $9.99. And it's not going to pop up with that sale price, and it'll be a huge hassle, and it will take so much time to tag every single item in our store. It's extremely unrealistic." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So how the heck did I get on that subject? I'm working on being more stern and like not being a pushover or something, getting a thicker skin. How did I get on that from being grateful? I have no idea. Okay, 32. Whom are you envious of? Well, Contessa for sure. She gets to just sleep all day. Like, are you kidding me? That is the life. I'm envious of ooh. I mean, my brother. He just finished his first semester of college. Woot woot! And he gets to just enjoy summer now. 33. What's an image you'll never forget? I was on the plane. I was the only one on it. I didn't have any family members with me. And the guy, not the seat directly in front of me, but the one ahead of that, stood up and just collapsed. And we were all just like, "What's going on? Oh my God, did he have a heart attack? Is he okay?" And all the people around him were getting up and helping him. And he had just fainted. Thank God. If he'd had a heart attack, that would have been terrifying. I think it was just that he needed to walk around a little bit, get his blood circulating better, and he was fine after that. But I mean, that was just terrifying, seeing somebody on a plane stand up and just fall over. Like, if it happened at work, it would be scary, but it'd be extremely easy to call 911, get somebody there, get him to a hospital. on a plane, you know, you always see in movies, is there a doctor on the flight? Like, what happens if there's no doctor? Then what? You're screwed. Yeah. And then unless image is like just a picture I'll never forget. Oh, okay. I actually had it as my desktop background in high school. It's just this beautiful light blue and black picture. This girl, you know, it was a digital painting that somebody did on their computer, and she's sitting on a stump outside, in just this lacy, beautiful, layered outfit, and she has her arm reaching out, and a bird is flying away. And I don't remember if the quote was actually on the image or not, or if the artist just put it in the description, but it was just if you love something, let it go. If it loves you, it'll come back, and if it leaves, it was never yours to start with. Something like that. And it's just, I mean, it's a good quote, because, you know, it's like suffering someone into staying with you when they don't want to. That's not the right way to do things. That's horrible. 34. Describe a near-death experience. Thankfully for mine, I barely remember them. When I was in elementary school, especially first grade, I remember there were times I was just playing on the computer, or, you know, watching TV, and it suddenly became really hard to breathe. And so, you know, like I have asthma, my airways were closing in on me, and I just, you know, I blacked out, and the next thing I know, I'm in the emergency room, or in an emergency room, you know, not the waiting room, an emergency room, and I have the oxygen mask on, and I have all this stuff on me, and it was terrifying every single time, and I was really young, so it was horrible. I'm still playing with that magnet. I'm so sorry. Yeah, those were always really bad. I was too young, man. It was, ugh. Okay, 35. If you had a clone, what would you have the clone do? Right now, I would have the clone crocheting, because I need to get those blankets done, because my dad and my brother both have their birthdays in June, and my nephew's birthday is in July, and so is my sister's, and none of their blankets are done yet. I don't even think I'm halfway on Chris's, actually. Maybe? I don't think so, though. And then, when all those are done, I'd have them crochet as well. Like, psh, I got 2 laptops, 2 webcams, like, boom! Double the trouble, man. Double the trouble. 36. Also, I would probably send them to work every once in a while. Like, most of the time I would go, because I do enjoy work and I don't want to miss out on anything. But there's some days where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. Clone, go to work. 36. What's your idea of heaven? I think it's, you know, going up there and being with your loved ones. And I think it's very open. I don't think it's like supernatural where you have your own personal heaven. I think you would freely be able to roam around and see other people. I mean, obviously you wouldn't be able to see other people if you are part of their hell. So, like, too bad. Oh, you love this person. Well, they hated you. I mean, that would be super depressing, but, you know, your pets would be there, your family, any friends, you know, anybody. And, you know, it's like what is that post? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But it was just, you know, you can go up there and listen to all your favorite bands. Like, that would be awesome. And I mean, I like to think that bands enjoy playing. So I hopefully their idea of heaven would be, you know, reuniting with anybody. Like, you know, the members of Queen could go party on with Freddie Mercury. That'd be awesome. Also, yes, I did do the party on purpose, because, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody was in Wayne's World, where they were like, you know, party on Wayne, party on Garth. I totally did that on purpose. 37. What's your idea of hell? Honestly, I don't even know if I believe in one. I mean, at least I don't really want to. Like, it's hard, because I mean, you know, there's so many people that have done horrible things in this life, and, you know, they weren't punished for it. And I don't want them to go to heaven and, like, never face any consequences for that. But at the same time, I don't want anybody in there, like, just burning for the rest of eternity. Like, that is terrifying. It's sad. And I don't really like the idea of limbo either. Like, you know, you're just there. Like, that's terrifying too. I don't know. I don't know. 38. When did you know that I believed in heaven and hell? Is that what it's asking? Uh, I've believed in, you know, like the religious or spiritual stuff, whatever you want to say, for a while. I never identified specifically with one religion. Like, there are parts of Christianity where I'm like, oh really? A talking snake, huh? Okay. Like, they're just, you know, different aspects where I'm like, wow, that's really stupid. And other aspects where I'm like, oh, I really like that. You know, like, love thy neighbor. Like, that's good. Yeah, don't kill your neighbor. Don't do that. Thou shalt not kill. Or, I think that's one, isn't it? One of the commandments? Dude, I don't know. You know, usually when you see when did you know, it's like, when did you know you were in love with him? And it's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm single, so currently never. 39. What can you do better? What can I do better? What's something I do that I could do better? I could. Probably reach out to my friends better. Talk to them more, but I hate talking on the phone, and most other people prefer texting, and I don't like texting because it's so annoying and it's so tiny and it just drives me nuts. And I like email, but a lot of other people don't like email. They literally just like texting, and I'm not big on it. So they could do stuff better too, you know. 40. When are you most yourself? When I'm stitching or when I'm hanging out with Tessa, because I bounce around and dance. I'm a super dork. Both times. 41. What superpower would you most like to have? The power over time. Like, you know, you'd be able to rewind time, you'd be able to fast forward, you'd be able to pause. All of that would be awesome. Like, just, it would be so great. You know, if you do something incredibly embarrassing or stupid, or, you know, you've done something like just completely horrible, you know, you screwed something up, rewind time, and you don't do it again. You learn from your mistake. I mean, you don't have to suffer the consequences for very long because you can rewind time, but you're still aware of the consequences of those actions, so you wouldn't make those, you know, accidents in the future. And then if you do something and you're worried that there's going to be consequences, you know, you could go, you know, into the future and be like, oh wow, you know, nothing changed, or holy shit, dinosaurs are ruling the world, I should not do that, rewind time. You know, any of that, just being able to manipulate time would be pretty freaking sweet. 42. If you were granted three wishes, what would you do with the second wish? Okay, so first of all, like, if there are, you know, rules, it would just be, you know, I wish I was allowed to wish for more wishes. I wish I had 1,000,001 wishes, and then you just have 1,000,001 wishes. But, okay, assuming I'm not allowed to wish for more wishes, what would my first wish be? Ooh, you know what? I think I kind of want to cure for cancer. Like, fuck cancer. Oh, it's so horrible. And a lot of other diseases, too. Just any of those things that it's like, you have no power over this, and you can't win. I'd like to get rid of racism and sexism. Like, I know that's pretty much impossible, but, like, you know what? No. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wish that everybody was a little more open-minded. You know, I don't want to completely change their personality, but I'd like it if people were more open-minded. Because if they were, you know, yeah, you know, you're still gonna have people that are a-holes, but they're not gonna be as bad because they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? This person is having a hard time. I should think about that. Instead of trashing their life and all that. Think about it. And then, in your head, you can keep thinking horrible thoughts. But you'd walk away. I don't like closed-minded people. It drives me nuts. So, yeah, okay. I got rid of cancer. I made everybody more open-minded. What would my third wish be? Ooh. I just had the Queen song, Who Wants to Live Forever? But I don't want to live forever on my own, so that would not be a good idea. Tessa is right here. Can I just wish for her to have the same lifespan as me? Because that would be great. That would make me very happy. Hi, Pearly. Yeah. Yeah, she's 13 going on 14. Like, I would like it if she lived to be 100. That would be amazing. Yeah. Come on, Jeannie, where you at? I have good wishes. I mean, one of them is kind of very selfish. But I mean, Tessa would want to live that long with me, right? You guys know how much she loves me. She's so tired, she's not meowing. 43. What is your actual superpower? Cross-stitching really fast. 44. If you won $100 million, what would you buy first? Ooh. An apartment or like a small house or something. Like, totally. Yeah, I think I would buy some place to stay because I feel bad. 45. What's the best sound in the world? Well, I really like Tessa meowing, or no, her purring. I like the sound of her purring. The sound of any cat purring is amazing. But I also really like pianos and violins, and just people with really beautiful voices. Oh, Pro, you're so beautiful. Certain bells are very nice. Not all of them, but certain ones. Yeah. 46. What's perfect about your life? My Pearl. Of course, Tessa's perfect. Right, baby. Yes. Okay. I can't use Tessa for every answer I have. What's perfect about my life? My contentedness. I'm content with life. I'm happy with life. And I think that's perfect. So many people are having such a hard time, and I'm not. Like, that's great. 47. What song do you sing only when you're alone, and what memory does it bring back? There is... Oh, well... Okay, it's an extremely perverted song. Pony by Genuine. But, like, it doesn't bring back any memories. It's just, I only sing it alone because it's extremely perverted. Like, it's a fun song, but, I mean, like, it's so pervy. If you are not prepared for perviness, do not listen to that song. Like, you will regret it. I mean, just imagine. It's called Pony. What do you think it's about? Okay, there you go. That is why I sing it alone. There aren't any memories attached to it, so... am I supposed to find a song I sing alone and there are memories with it? Like, I pretty much only sing What's Your Fantasy by Ludacris alone because it's also perverted. I mean, it brings back memories of when I first got that CD that it's on and listening to it on my Walkman just over and over. And I mean the whole disc, not just that song. But my favorite songs on there were always Liquid Dreams by O-Town and Follow Me by Uncle Kracker. Those were the ones I repeated the most. So, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. 48. Describe a moment you were so embarrassed you wanted to disappear. I know it was in a very recent video where I was talking about how I choked in front of the guy I had a crush on in 4th grade. So that one, I wanted to disappear. I was so embarrassed. Like, if he hadn't come out of the room, it would have been fine. But because he saw me choking and spitting up that piece of candy, that was so embarrassing. Otherwise, there was a time my mom brought me to go see a bunch of her girlfriends. You know, there were like 4 or 5 of them. And it was super hot out. So I asked if I could have some water, and I chugged it, and I ended up choking on it. And I was freaking out because it wouldn't go down. And I was in the kitchen, and they were in the living room. So they didn't see me, so they couldn't help me. And I started jumping up and down because I could not breathe. And I was freaking out. And I ended up dropping the cup I was holding. It was plastic, so it didn't break. But I mean, water went everywhere. And then it finally went down. Because I don't think I spit it up. I think it went down. And then I started just coughing and coughing and coughing. And, all the ladies came over and were, worried about me. And my mom was just so embarrassed about it that we never went back. And I was just like, woman, if you were embarrassed, imagine how it felt being the one choking on friggin' water. Oh my gosh. Like, the only thing more embarrassing than that is choking on your own spit. And I've done that. And honestly, I think it's pretty funny every time I choke on my spit, because it's like, that is naturally in my mouth. That should not be happening. I should not be choking on that. 49. How many times a day do you think about money? Not as many times as other people, but I don't know. I think on the average day, only maybe once. And I'm just, I'm thinking about my balance, because I don't want to, go too high, or not go too high. There's no such thing as too high. I don't want to go too low. I always want to keep it at a certain number, and sometimes that's hard to do. Other months it's easier. Right now it's been pretty difficult because I pay a lot of money for health insurance and car insurance, and I also pay the internet bill and gas. I pay for my gas too, and that can cost more than the paychecks I get. So thankfully I've never been in the zero or the negatives, but it's hard to keep it where I want it. It fluctuates, and I don't like that. I want it to be reliable. 50. Who has been the biggest influence on you in your relationship to money? I'm kind of a tightwad, so I'm going to go with my mom on that one. She isn't big on spending money, which is a good thing in my opinion. Like, I've met so many guys, like especially at work, that just bitch and bitch and bitch about how their wives or their girlfriends go and spend so much money at Michael's. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I do spend some money at Michael's, but I don't splurge so much that it's like, ooh, I'm in trouble now. Like the only time I feel like I'm ever in trouble is when, oh, hey, look, my health insurance is like 300 something bucks this month. Woohoo. So, like whatever. 51. What's one thing you're certain of? I'm certain that... what's something I'm certain of? That I'm going to get Magnificent Wizard done this year. Boom. It's happening, you guys. I said it. May 13th, 2017. I'm finishing Magnificent Wizard this year. 52. Describe one of your colossal failures. A big failure. My first cross stitch, Oscar the Grouch. It was a complete failure, well, no, okay, I'm lying to you. The cross stitch itself was not a complete failure. It's that a couple years later, I threw it away because I didn't believe I'd be able to fix it. That was the colossal failure. I know, looking back, I could have fixed it very easily. It would not have been a problem. Back then, it was, I felt like I'd screwed everything up and I'd never be able to fix it. It was a failure that I didn't believe that I could get better at it and I'd be able to fix it. 53. What makes you cringe? Oh my gosh. Okay, so anytime we have a radio at work, we're supposed to have a headset on, but sometimes, we have headsets break, so we can't use them and they don't work. And if you have 2 radios next to each other and neither of them have a headset and you talk into one, the static that comes out of the second one, it hurts your ears so much. And every single person hears it. It doesn't just come out of that second radio. It goes through everyone's radios. That feedback is it's painful. It makes me cringe every single time. And every time I've done it, I feel so bad because I know how much it hurts. But that's why, when you're done with radio, you freaking turn it off. But, some things are just too much to ask for. 54. What does your inner voice tell you? That I don't know. That I'm freaking tired and I need to go to bed and I should not stay up that late to cross stitch ever again. 55. What crime have you considered committing? Ooh. None? Like, okay, I don't know what movie it was from. I know the actor is Christopher Walken, and he's playing, like, the main chick's brother or something like that. I don't know. But he gets in the car, and he turns to the passenger, and he's like, you know, there are times when I just think about driving the car off the road or hitting another vehicle. And, you know, that freaks the main character out. I've never seen this movie, by the way. I only know of this through reviews. So that's why I have no idea who anybody is. But, and you know, like, I've had ideas, you know, or just like, I don't know if it's necessarily an idea, because, like, an idea comes with that I might want to do it. I never want to do it. But, like, my imagination will be like, ooh, what would happen if, you know, I swerved in the other lane? Like, boom, death. And I've never considered doing that. Like, no, thank you. But I've had that, you know, like, just the image of it happening flash through my, you know, in my mind. I mean, it was scary. I think he did it. I think he imagined that because he was cray-cray, but I don't know. It's just what popped into my head, so I talked about it. What crime have you considered? I don't know. I mean, I've illegally downloaded music, but then when I have the chance to get, you know, like an iTunes gift card, I go back and I pay for all those songs. So, I mean, I don't know if that makes up for illegally having them the first time around, but, you know, I legally bought them the second time. So, I don't know. A big reason why I do that is because there's certain versions of songs when you pay for them, and then you find out, oh, hey, you know, there's this weird part in the middle that I really don't like. Like, oh my gosh, the song with Jessie J, Ariana Grande, and, what's her face? Oh my goodness. I can see her in my head. She's so pretty. The Anaconda. Not Anaconda, don't. Her. Oh my god, what's her name? Tessa, what's her name? Super Bass. Nicki Minaj. The song they do is, what is the song they do? Bang, 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 bang. I don't like Nicki Minaj's rap part in the song. I can't stand it. So I went on YouTube and I found a version someone had edited to get rid of her parts. And I love it. I love it so much. I don't like when I have one genre of a song and then it suddenly becomes another for like 15, 20, 30 seconds and then it goes right back. Like, what the heck is the point of that? That's so stupid. I get that you want a cameo with your buddies, but like, switching the genre up halfway through and then switching it right back, that's stupid to me. I don't know if there's any song where they randomly put in, you know, like a 15-second rap that I was like, yeah, this is my favorite part. I like this part. No, I'm always just like, really? Did they have to do this? Really? Ugh. So, yeah. Sometimes it's just because I feel the artist has made a shitty decision that I don't like. And yes, I know that makes me a bad person. But you know what? Whatever. 56. What's great about your mom? She's super nice. 57. What's great about your dad? He's a great provider. 58. Which day would you gladly relive? Ooh. What's a day I could relive, Pearl Pearl? What would be a nice day? Ooh, a specific day. Ooh. Like, pretty much any of my sleepovers from high school. Those were so much fun, getting to spend all that time with all of my friends. honestly, pretty any time hanging out with my friends in high school. That was a blast for me. Like, other people just freaking hated high school. I loved it. I miss high school so much. I kind of wish I could go back. Like, life was so much easier back then. 59. What are you awesome at? I'm awesome at cross stitching. I'm getting good at crocheting. I'm not perfect because there are still things I'm learning, and there are certain things that, you know, when they shorten it, like a yarn over hook is YOH, you know, things like that. There are certain ones that I still don't know, or, you know, I'm still kind of learning. So yeah, you know, I'm getting there. I'd like to be awesome at it one day. That'd be really cool. 60. What do you want people you meet for the first time to think about you? That I'm friendly, that I'm outgoing, that, you know, I'm somebody they could talk to, whether it's, you know, like a personal matter or they just want someone to talk to. I like that. What is going on? Okay. 61. When were you most afraid? That first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. I just discussed this in the other video, so if you want to know that, go back to, like, what was it, Pins Day 5? I don't remember. Just watch all the Pins videos and you'll hear me talk about it. 62. What are you terrible at but love to do anyway? What am I terrible at but love to do anyway? Singing. I'm terrible at singing, but I love it. I love it so much. It's so much fun. I'm terrible at what else am I terrible at that I love to do anyway, Tess? Like, seriously, like, singing is the only thing that's coming to me. And not karaoke. I am absolutely petrified of singing into a microphone. Like, I can't do it. I can't. Every single time I've tried, it's just nothing. Nothing comes out. 63. What weapon would you carry during the zombie apocalypse? Well, I already have 2 swords, so, like, I would carry one, and, like, I'd strap one to my back, and I'd carry the other one around in my hand, like, at all times. Like, it would not go back in its, what is the word I'm looking for? Not case. What is that thing called? Oh my god, scabbard? No? I don't know. But that would be good. Like, having a gun or a bow and arrow, yeah, you know, that's badass, but you're gonna run out of bullets. You're gonna run out of bolts. They make a ton of noise. And guns actually get so loud that you could permanently damage your hearing. That's why a lot of times when you see people at gun ranges and stuff, they have on earmuffs, because guns get loud. And then it takes a lot to break a sword, or, you know, for it to, like, get rusty and not work anymore. Versus if I had, like, a chainsaw or something, that would be very easy for something to get caught up in it and make it stop working, so then I just have to hack away at them, and it'd be easier to do that with a sword, because the sword is built to do that. Yeah, like a sword or something. And I wouldn't want a knife, I'd want a sword, because it's longer, and anything to keep the zombies further away from me. 64. Which of your 5 senses would you keep if you could only keep one? I want my eyesight. That is the one I want the most. Like, if I had to choose one to lose, it would be my sense of smell first, because I barely even have one. My nose is pretty much perpetually plugged up. So if you hate mouth breathers, I apologize, because I'm kind of one, and it's not on purpose. Like, I want to be able to breathe. So, okay, I would get rid of my sense of smell. Honestly, I kind of wish I could. Like, it's not even worth it at this point. You know, it's the bad smells that you really freaking notice. Then I would get rid of my sense of taste, and then, you know what? I would only eat healthy foods. So that would kind of be a good thing as well. So what's left? Sight, hearing, and touch. Next, I would get rid of my hearing, because, I mean, I'd love to learn sign language. I want to. I don't really have time, and then I don't know anybody that knows sign language, or at least somebody that uses it on a daily basis that I could practice with. And you know what? I loved Switched at Birth, and all these other things, and the deaf community is just spectacular. To be a part of that, I'd be honored. Or deaf, hard of hearing, either one, don't care. I already use subtitles on everything because I can't hear anything properly. And then I would get rid of my sense of touch. That would really suck, and that one's extremely dangerous to lose, because you could put your hand on a hot stove and not realize it, and then next thing you know, oh hey, yeah, you pretty much burnt your hand to the bone. And but I really like my sense of sight. Like, at the very least, if I had my sight and I couldn't feel anything, I could cross stitch with one hand and I'd just flip it over onto the back to make sure I don't stab myself, like. 65. What's something you love to make? Well, cross stitches, obviously. This thing really just wants me to repeat myself a lot, doesn't it? 66. What do you cook better than anyone? Nothing. There is nothing that I cook better than anybody else. I can follow directions, no problem, and I can cook stuff that way, but, everything tastes better when it's made by a mom. Like, macaroni and cheese, I can make it the exact same way as my mom, but it tastes better when my mom makes it, and I think it's specifically because my mom made it. And my body's just like, yeah, mommy made me food, yummy, I don't know, I have no idea. 67. What do you wish you'd invented? A really popular video game, because I wouldn't feel guilty about getting money from a good video game. I wouldn't want to have created a vaccine, because then, oh my god, I'm so selfish, because I'd get credit for it, but I wouldn't get money for it. I wouldn't be able to accept money for, a vaccine or something. That would just make me feel like shit. So I wish I'd invented, I don't know, 5 Nights at Freddy's or something. Like Slender Man. Something that has gotten a crap ton of money and is not, necessary for anybody's survival. Okay, now it's starting to get cold in here. I need to turn my fan. There we go. 68. What would you like to invent? Smell-o-vision would be pretty sweet. But at the same time, it would probably really suck, because there's a lot of horror movies, so stuff would smell really bad. And then, it wouldn't do me much good. What would you like to invent? I'd like to invent a device that lengthens the lives of pets. Yeah, be pretty sweet. 69. Out of 100 random people, where would you rank yourself in terms of your intelligence? Okay, so random people would include the elderly and the babies. So I'm going to put myself fairly high on that list. I'm going to go with 85. This is actually a dream I had 2 or 3 days ago. It was, I'm sure you guys have seen videos like this before. You get somebody that goes around a college campus and they ask questions, who is the president? What are the 3 branches of government? And, they ask all these questions, and most people get them wrong. And then they ask questions like, who was Brad Pitt last married to? Or, what show is Snooki from? And, people always get those ones right. And at the end, they're like, how come all these silly social things are, more widely known than, say, something about your government, which is extremely important. And in my dream, they were going around asking these questions, and I was getting most of the, the political type questions correct. Obviously Trump's president. I think one of the questions was, who was our last vice president? And that was Joe Biden. What was another question? It was the 3 branches of government: judicial, elective, and, oh my gosh, what's the other one? Judicial, elective, and, oh no, I lost it, you guys. Judicial's usually the one I forget. Oh my gosh, judicial. Oopsie, I just knocked all those threads to the floor. Holy moly. Oh, ow. Oh my gosh, what is the other one, you guys? This is killing me. I knew it in my dream. Oh, man. Elective. Judicial. Oh, nope. I gotta look it up. I'm such a horrible person. Clearly I fail, you guys. Clearly I fail. Why are you not opening? There we go. Okay. U.S. branches of government. If it'll load. Executive. Wait, what? Is that it? I don't know if it... Yeah, it's judicial. Oh, wait, no, I said elective. It's executive. I didn't even say the right word. Oh my god, it's 11 p.m., okay? Cut me a little bit of slack. I got so little sleep last night and I'm so tired right now. Judicial, elective, and does it start with an S? Oh my god, what is the third one? Executive, legislative, and judicial. There we go. Those are the 3 branches of the U.S. government. Oh my gosh. It was, what was another question? What is it? How many people are in the Senate? And it's 100 because you get 2 per state. And then the House of Representatives, I don't know the exact number, but it's based on population of state. So a state like California has like a gazillion versus a state like Wyoming has, I think they only have 1. So it was, it was just simple questions like that you learned in high school, but you may not remember now. Obviously, I don't. Judicial, elective, and legislative. I fail so much. How did I get on that? Oh, out of 100 people, where would you rank yourself? Okay. I remember one question, and it's just one that has always popped up in my head because I learned the presidents in 3rd grade, and it's who's the 15th president? So everybody knows, Lincoln was the 16th, but do you remember who was before him? Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln. So Buchanan was the president before Lincoln. And then after Lincoln, I go in a loop and I don't remember the other ones. So, I fail. 70, where do you want to be right now? In bed. I want to be about 6-7 feet away from where I am, just in bed. I just want to go to bed. I'm so freaking tired. But I need to finish this narration so I can have it saved during the night. So tomorrow I can just stitch as soon as I get up. 71. If you could be someone else for a day, who would it be and why? Why do they keep giving me the same questions? This is driving me bonkers, you guys. I would want to be a guy because I'd be able to pee standing up and, all the other things that come with being a dude that are different from being a woman. And I think I might actually want to be a guy who isn't white, because then I'd be able to experience what it's like, being a guy, but then I'd also be able to experience what it's like not being white, which could potentially be super dangerous and absolutely terrifying. Because I'm still a woman at heart. Like, I would like, or at least I'm still me at heart. And I don't, like, I have coworkers who like to go around and scare people. And, you get that fight or flight response. I almost always have the flight response. Like, I just want to run away. I don't want to fight. I just want to get away from you. Do not fight me. Like, I will run. Like, and I think the only time I would ever have a flight reflex is if somebody else threw a punch or a kick or something first. I don't want to be the first one to hit somebody. Like, no, I will defend myself, but I'm not going to beat somebody up, especially just because they scared me. But yeah, I think even if I was like a black dude, I would still just be like, yep, nope, I'm out of here, bye. 72, what makes you feel powerful? having my swords in my hand. I don't know. Powerful. I don't know about that one. 73. What's the meanest thing you've ever said? Man, everyone has said horrible things. I know I have. I don't want to relive those things. I want to move past them, so no. 74. What's the meanest thing someone has ever said to you? You know what? I think it was, or at least one of the meanest things someone's ever said to me that I'm comfortable talking about was when I was in 7th grade. I got my hair cut, and I had it layered from my chin to my shoulders, and then everything behind there was to my shoulders. And back then, I had my hair parted down the middle. And you guys have seen my face, obviously. I have a very long face. It's an oval. And the woman who was cutting my hair was just telling me that, you know, we have to change my hairstyle because what I have right now does not suit me and it looks horrible. And I have such a long face and it does not work with me. And I just sat there the whole time. I almost started crying. Like I was so upset and so embarrassed. And like that is not how you speak to a client. But especially a client who is a child. I was in middle school and I looked like I was in elementary school. And she talked to me in such a way that like I was so insecure about how long my face was after that. Because it never was a concern for me beforehand. Like, whatever, I have an oval-shaped face, who gives a crap? But after that, I was like, my face is so long, it looks so bad. If I don't get my hair parted the exact way it needs to be, I'm going to look so ugly. And just, oh man, that woman messed me up for a long time. Like, even now, like when I don't have my bangs, I never part my hair down the middle. Like, yeah, I do agree with her that it doesn't look very good on me, but that's not how you say something to a child especially, but not to anybody. You know, it's not hard to just be like, oh, you know, with how, you know, with the shape of your face, it would look, you know, it would complement you better to put your part here. It gets the same point across, but it's not mean. You know, it's not going to make somebody feel bad. They're just going to be like, oh, well, okay, you know, if it'll make me look better, you know, I'm sure I'll feel better. I have got to get some water. I've been talking for like an hour and 10 minutes. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I still have like 20 minutes. Oh, okay. 75. What 3 words would you have on your gravestone? She was loved? I don't know. Elizabeth was awesome. Get back, whippersnappers. I have no idea. 3 words? That's weird. I don't know. My first name, my middle name, and my last name? 76. What's your first thought when you wake up? Usually it's, you know, first I need to take my pills, so my birth control and my Claritin, and then it's I need to pee. A lot of times I just wake up and I'm like, I need to pee. 77. What's one thing you wake up to in the middle of the night worrying about? You know, I'll worry about work, like, oh, you know, am I gonna do well enough? Am I gonna get sales and framing? Am I gonna hit my goal? And usually, well, that isn't what wakes me up. It's, you know, something else wakes me up. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I'm worrying about this now. Because, I mean, I don't worry about it in my sleep. It's not that much of an issue for me. But, you know, it's something I do worry about. I don't know, has anything worried me so badly that I woke up? Yeah, not really. Hi, Pearly. What's up, sweetie? Says he's still playing with the magnet? Yes, she is. Hi. Give me kisses. You're gonna help me with the narration? because, like, I'm so tired. I really want to go to bed. 78. If you could tell someone something anonymously, what would it be? Okay, well, right now it wouldn't be anonymous because I'm posting it on YouTube. I mean, I have no problem telling someone they're beautiful or that they're funny. So, like, all positive things. So if it was anonymous, it would have to be mean. But I don't want to say something mean to anybody, whether it's anonymous or not. Like, that's one of the bad things about the internet is the anonymity. Like, it's so easy for people to be mean because, you know, oh, what's that the person gonna do? They can't find Green-Eyed Demon 44 because, you know, it's linked to a fake account or, you know, something. So, yeah, no, I don't want to do anything that's mean. Like, maybe I'll find a hot guy and honestly be like, yeah, he's gorgeous, and let him know. But some people will get a really fat head about that, so maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea, you guys. 79. Whom would you like to forgive and forget? Katie McBride from middle school. That was the girl, if you guys recall. She lied to my best friend Molly and I, claiming that we both said horrible things about one another. So we spent like half a year thinking we weren't friends. And it was just because she wanted, you know, oh, you can be my friend and no one else's. I hate people like that. Like, are you kidding me? Every single time one of my friends is like, you know, oh, I have another best friend, or, you know, I made a new friend, I'm always so excited for them. Like, I don't want to be your only friend. I want you to have other friends because you are a great person and who deserves more friends? So, yeah. Toxic people like that, get them out of your life. You deserve more than one friend who is a butthead. So, yeah. I don't know if I want to forgive her, but I want to forget Miss Wagner, that horrible English teacher I had in high school. Ugh. I'd love to forget her. Woman taught me nothing. Ugh. 80. If you could get rid of one of your responsibilities today, what would it be? Doing this narration. I want to go to bed. I'm so tired. But I don't want the video to be completely silent. Like, it was one of the things I was talking about with Angela today. I have no problem with people muting my videos and playing their own music. Like, if all you need is the visuals to motivate you to stitch, man, all power to you. I don't care if you don't want to hear me. That is totally okay by me. But I'm never putting music in my videos again because I just got hit by another copyright claim on Tiger of the Heavens Day 12. And that's the one that took like 2 weeks for me to finally be able to make it public because of all the copyright claims that were completely BS. Like the one that they hit me with, it's the same artist, but it's a different song. And I was like, are you kidding me? What? You don't even know your own damn song? Like, and it just, I was like, you know, I dealt with this for so long, it's not even worth it anymore. Like, I wish I could turn monetization off on it, because I don't want to give them any of my money for watching one of my, or, you know, for people watching my videos. They don't freaking deserve it. Because when I put that song in there, it was in the public domain. Like, yeah, I'm sure you can do stuff to get it out of there, which it looks like he did because the song isn't listed in the album I posted with it, but it pisses me off so much. Like, oh my goodness. Ugh. 81. What type of person angers you the most? Other people that are very quick to anger. Like, really? Really, your go-to emotion is to be angry? Of all the responses you could have, it's the one where you're the least rational and you're the meanest? Really? Oh, it drives me nuts. I don't know if it necessarily makes me angry, but I hate when somebody makes me repeat myself like 20 million times. Like, Oh, it drives me bonkers. Like, just listen the first time, and then you're good. You don't have to worry about it anymore because you listened the first time. But, you know, some people, you gotta keep saying it because, I don't know, it does not compute. Something in the water does not compute. That is not my favorite Prince song, by the way, but it's not bad. 82. What is your greatest strength? Well, you know what? I actually kind of have to agree with my boss on this one. She was telling me that she thinks my greatest strength is the fact that I listen, that, you know, I pay attention and I do what people ask me to do. And, you know, if I've done something wrong and they tell me I've done it wrong, I fix it. And from then I do it right. I listen. And yeah, I agree. I do listen. I listen very well. Um, I, I, I always try my hardest. Like, I try so hard. I say that so much at work. I'm like, you know, I try so hard. But sometimes, you know, you can't win sometimes. You just can't. 83. What is your worst weakness? I don't function well with little sleep. I get really consumed with the work that I'm doing, that I'm not always 100% aware of my surroundings like other people. Like that's why it's really easy for my coworkers to scare me. Like I'll be sitting there organizing a shelf and they'll come up behind me, you know, and they'll be walking like a normal person. They're not tiptoeing, and they, you know, they go boo, and it scares the crap out of me because I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I'm not aware of my surroundings. Which, you know, some people will say is a good thing. Other people will say is a bad thing. So, I don't know. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. I don't know if the narration is going to line up properly, but the fox, before I start doing the black and the brown, he has this huge Cheshire grin. Cheshire grin. I can't pronounce it right now. On his face that's just terrifying. It's just that big white tuft. It scared the crap out of me to the point that, like, I had to post it on Facebook that, like, it was scaring me while I was stitching. 84. How do you show your love for others? By smiling at them, by talking to them a lot. Well, technically that makes it sound like I love everybody because I smile at everybody and I talk to a lot of people. How do I show people I love them? I'll actually say I love you. Whether it's, you know, a familial love or a I'm in love with you love. You know, saying it means a lot. Because there's some people who can't say it. And it's like, you know, you can't know what someone else is feeling unless they say something to you. So you can believe that someone loves you with all your heart. But if they never tell you, you know, how do you know for sure? Like, there's always going to feel, you know, you're always going to feel that sense of doubt, no matter how minuscule it is. Yeah. 85. Why are you here in this room right now? Because I'm recording the narration for this video right now, right here. 86. When is a time you forgave someone or were forgiven for something? Plenty of times. Dude, everybody has made mistakes. Everybody has been forgiven. Everybody has forgiven someone else. You know, the point of forgiving someone is that, you know, you forgive them. You get over it. Although, I will say, I read somewhere, it was somebody was saying that a lot of people, when, you know, when person B says I'm sorry, person A will say that's okay. And you know, the poster was like, don't ever say that, because that implies they can do it again in the future. What you need to say is I forgive you. And then if they do it a second time, you can just be like, whoa, what the heck? You know, I forgave you for it for the first time you did it. I'm not going to forgive you for it a second time. And, you know, because by saying it's okay. You're implying that, what they did wasn't that big of an issue. So, and I find myself saying it's okay a lot, even though, yeah, no, what you did was not okay. That was horrible. So, if any of you guys notice that your speech gears towards that, you got to stop that. You got to fix it. 87. What's the biggest mistake you ever made? Well, trusting Katie. Throwing away the Oscar Roach cross stitch. Ooh, in college, my last semester, I had a paper due, and for some reason I had thought it was due the next week, but it was due that day. And I was 3/4 of the way done with it, but I wasn't done with it. And, everybody in class was pulling out their papers before class, and I was just like, holy shit, the paper's due today. And this professor was so nice. I went up to him and I lied. I was like, I left my essay at home. It takes me a while to get home and to get back. If you, would it be okay? Do you want me to go drive home right now and go get it? And what I would have done is go to the library and written it up and printed it out there. But he was like, oh, no, that's okay. Just bring it next class. And I was like, oh, are you sure? Do you want me to go home and email it to you? He's like, no, just bring it next class. And I brought it next class and I got an A on it. And I was so grateful for that. And that was a really stupid mistake on my part, because he had the date there, and I don't know how I got it completely wrong, but I did. 88. What are you hiding? I wasn't aware I was hiding anything right now. I'm wearing clothes, so I'm hiding part of my body. 89. What's your unanswerable question? The question you seem to always be asking yourself. What is love? Baby, don't hurt. No, what's a question you always seem to be asking yourself? Everybody wants to know the meaning of life, but honestly, I think it's just love. Love somebody, love everybody, love, 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 love. Love is beautiful. So I guess I don't really need to know. I don't know what happens when people die. That's a question I'm always curious about. What's going to happen to me when I die? Is it going to be like when I'm sleeping and it's just blackness and I just no longer exist at all in any way? Or am I going to have some kind of heaven? 90. What are you ashamed of? There are so many people that have guilty pleasures, and everything I like, I don't feel bad about. I don't feel guilty for. I don't feel ashamed about. I still watch Sailor Moon. I grew up on that cartoon, and I'll admit it's childish, but I love it. I'm not ashamed to admit that. It makes me sad that there are other people who are embarrassed to admit they like these things. Really? A real friend, yeah, they might tease you for liking it, but they're not gonna just crap on you over it. That's horrible. That's not a real friend. A real friend will be like, oh, you like Sailor Moon? Yeah, I watched it too. I liked it. Or I never saw it. Can I watch it with you? We'll see if I can get into it. Stuff like that. Inclusive. Got to be inclusive. I spit on the screen. Oops. 91. What is stopping you? Currently, gravity. Gravity is what's keeping me from floating away right now. My sleep-deprived brain is stopping me from, I don't know, being normal. 92. What's a secret you have? It's a secret, man. Y'all aren't allowed to know it. 93. How do you secretly manipulate people to get your way? There are a lot of times with customers, if they're super douchey, my voice gets very high and I get very polite and kind of naive. And it's a really great way to get them to be nicer to me. And I am completely aware I'm doing it most of the time. If the customer's mean, I'm doing it on purpose. But there are other times where, like, I'm genuinely just that happy and I'm not controlling it. But oh man, anytime there's a douchey customer, I put on the biggest friggin' grin on my face, and I get my high-pitched voice out, and I'm being so sickly sweet that a lot of times customers walk away feeling bad for how they spoke to me at first. And I love it. Like, I work in retail. I'm not your frickin' indentured servant. I'm not your slave. I work in retail. Don't be a douche. 94. When was the last time you apologized? I remember apologizing earlier today. One of the girls on the replenishment team, she had to take the cleaner around the whole store. And I know that thing is hard to push. And she has, what is it, bad wrists? I don't think she has arthritis, but, you know, like, it hurts her every time she has to do it. And I felt so bad. And she was actually planning on doing it before we opened. But, you know, she got stopped and had to do a bunch of other things. So I felt bad that she had to do that with a bunch of customers in the way. 95. What is the biggest lie you tell yourself? Biggest lie I tell myself. I don't know. What is the biggest lie I tell myself? I have no idea. 96. What's the moment you left childhood behind? Ooh. Maybe when I was in 7th grade was when I was having all of those issues with my asthma. And, when I had my asthma attack in the bathtub, when we moved to the States, they, I was addicted to my albuterol. They took me off of it, and they put me on steroids for 2 weeks. And at first, like the first week, I couldn't taste them. Like, it was just pills. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the second week, oh my God, they tasted like crap. They tasted so bad. It was disgusting. I had to start taking them with milk. And I just, like, I filled my mouth up with milk, dropped the pill in, and just swallowed and swallowed and swallowed and swallowed. Because if it touched my tongue, the taste stayed there for like hours. It was so disgusting. But, you know, that made me start to really take life seriously. Because, you know, before then, yeah, I'd had problems, but I didn't have serious asthma problems since 1st grade. So, yeah, 7th grade was not a great year for me. That was, they also took me off of my Flovent, or excuse me, not my Flovent, my Asthmacort, which was my daily inhaler at the same time. And it was stunning my growth. And I hit puberty the year before, so I pretty much grew overnight. Like, all the growing I was supposed to do in 1 year, I did in 1 month. It was painful, and it was horrible, and I do not miss that. 97. What's missing from your life? A significant other. I'm still single. I'm cool with it. Like, I like having a boyfriend, but I like being single too, so. I know some people who they cannot be happy if they're single. Or I've actually met a couple people who can't be happy when they're in a relationship. You know, they need to be about themselves. And you don't need to be ashamed about either of those. You be you, man. You do you. 98. Do you believe in a higher power? I do. I mean, it could be higher powers. Higher power, I don't care. But yeah, I think there's somebody out there pulling some kind of strings, or just watching over everything, you know, in some way. 99. What are you ready to let go of? The past? Is that what I'm supposed to say? I don't know. I'm ready to let go of this magnet. There. I've let it go. 100. What are you not saying right now? I'm not saying anything between my pauses. I have no idea. What are you not saying right now? I need to pee. But I just said that, so that doesn't count anymore. As soon as I say it, it no longer applies because I frickin' said it. This question, what the heck? I don't like it. My eyes are watering really badly. I probably look like I'm crying, and I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed. But I'm still not done. I still have, like, what, 2-ish minutes? I'm at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm almost there on this one. I'm so freaking tired, you guys. This damn fox kept me up all night long. Okay, there is not enough time for me to go through and look for another survey right now, or questions or anything like that. So I'm just going to ramble until it ends, and it's almost there. And almost there we go. That is the end of Pins Day 7. Hello, Tessmas. I got 10 hours and 37 minutes of footage. It is almost 1 a.m. I am exhausted, and I work at 9 a.m. in the morning, so there's the creeper and the fox and Harley Quinn. I am going to bed, so like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, or in the next video. Tomorrow, maybe. I need to get some sleep.